It is time for the thumbnail.
Instead of what?
I think it's
Why? I know he picked a bad picture of me too.
like basic.
The
He picked a bad picture
with
of me.
10? That was only the one that Lara sent me. So we're
Oh, which picture?
What's him?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. I thought the one he chose for the.
I guess I could just make a better face, but
I'm sorry. I think that's the only. They all look like. I didn't really.
this is
Ready? We have to go for it.
Okay.
yes, sir.
All standby passengers, see me at the podium with your seat assignment.
Non Rev Lounge is a travel and aviation podcast. Monique, Lara, and Tyler are three friends that work for a major airline as gate agent, flight attendant, and ramp worker. During this podcast, they will discuss using their flight benefits to travel the world, as well as talk about things that happen at work. They have guests on almost every week to share their travels and stories, leaving tips on the best places to travel or things to do. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Non Rev Lounge. I'm Lara.
I'm Monique.
I'm Tyler.
Welcome.
So we're back.
We're back.
Three of us. You got your hat on.
I do have my hat on. It's new and I love it.
I don't know if we talked about it before, but you got our airplane tattoo.
Can we talk about your tattoo?
I did. Which one is it?
There
that
it
one.
is.
Words.
I like it. It's an airplane and a heart.
And it's actually named after me.
What is that?
So at the wedding we went to for Jeremiah and Lois, they talked to the family and they said, everyone send tattoo ideas because we're going to have a tattoo artist at the wedding. So everyone submitted kind of tattoos or ideas they thought would be cute. And then at the wedding, there was like a whole sheet of tattoos you could request. And mine was called the Monique.
Oh, I like that.
And Zach, he had the Zach. Tawny had the Tawny.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got my tattoo.
The Monique.
It's backwards, so it's really throwing me off. Yeah.
I like it.
Your first one?
It is my first one.
Does your mom know yet?
She does.
She does now.
She does.
And you're going to Newark today?
Again?
Your
Right.
third trip in a month?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a boyfriend there? What's going on?
No, it's just
Did you get Junior signed?
No, it's a one leg to Newark, spend the night, and it's a nice overnight, 16 hours, and then 1 hour.
What do
one
you
leg home.
do?
Gamble.
Well, you get there at midnight. See, there's no, yeah.
And you're in Jersey. You're not. They don't put you in Manhattan.
Elizabeth. I'm
But-
in Elizabeth.
But they don't send you to the city.
Correct. And I don't go to the Penn Station. But yeah, there's a mall across the street.
And you're working with a great crew.
Not tonight. I'm not working with a bad crew. I'm just not working with a great crew.
A bad crew or a bagger crew?
It's
Like
bad.
Okay.
I'm not working with a bad crew. And can we talk about my t-shirt?
Two parts.
So I got this t-shirt for my birthday last year from Tom Reen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I wrote him because you said his name the other day, and I said, we talked about you. He goes, I had to listen to my second episode.
Because he does work for an airline, so he not really.
A lot of people don't listen to work for an airline.
Like DJ Spotter
and
and
Steve.
Henry and Steve. Yeah, mileage runner.
You're the dick. Tawny's like, I've been listening to podcasts all week in the car. And I said, oh, you listened to ours? And she goes, I've been listening to podcasts all week. Choosing.
I won't say yes or no.
I like your t-shirt too.
Thank you. It's from Lance.
If you want to buy something made from an airplane, that's the place to go.
Thank you, Lance.
And if you want Lara and Katie to make you shirts,
We made those.
So we talked about the movie Carry On, the Netflix before Christmas.
before
remember?
it came out.
And we were like, yeah, everyone go watch it. It's going to be an aviation movie. What do you guys think?
I think it was more like sci-fi. Because like none of that stuff.
Did it bother you?
It was annoying.
We already said a couple weeks ago we didn't like it. Real quick, though, because it was the same name as the bar you went to, the Carry On. Remember?
Oh, yes.
So we're like the dumb movie. But it drove me crazy. And then I saw someone made an Instagram reel. Did you see that one? It was like the 15 things that drive av geeks crazy. And most of those things weren't even, that's even more than I was. Because a lot of it was like settings in the cockpit. I don't know anything about the pilot stuff. And they were like, that's going from Greece, because they were showing some of the stuff in there. And it was like, there's no way. And it's like, it was a 737, but it turned into a 767.
Yeah, and then they have the entry into the cargo bay from the app galley.
Yeah. So as I was watching it, I was like writing a group chat we have. And I was like, before I started, I was like, just so you know, I'm going to be messaging you constantly about this. And I was just like, yeah, there's no way this and this. But one thing I did decide was, if we watch in about 8 months, there's going to be a whole bunch of pregnant TSA workers.
Because they're going to watch like Netflix and chill.
Yeah. Because if there was a movie about gate agents saving the world, you would be super excited. You're like, all right. Because Lara does that with flight attendant movies.
No, it's true.
So they were watching it going, yeah, the TSA looks good.
A little bit morbid, but on what was it? United 93, that movie? There's gate agents having just like this much of a scene in it. And they hurry and get that father and son on that plane. And I'm like, yeah, the gate agents.
Mhm.
But I'm saying, you know, I mean, you're not yay for them, but it's like my little moment.
Yeah.
It's like it, and it's like 10 seconds.
It makes sense. Like, there could be a lot of like TSA pregnant agents. Yeah. You watch.
I don't know the female T stripes.
Or could have babies.
I mean, it's going to take more process for them to get pregnant.
When they came out with the Sully movie, I was working for U.S. Airways at the time, and I watched that movie, and it didn't have anything like that in it. I mean, it was completely believable.
Yeah. That was,
They
that
did
was a
very
good,
job
yeah.
with that one, yes.
Although when she's walking by with the safety card, she's walking by like this. Very militant. And I never walk by militant. But I do a safety card blessing, and I go like this over all the seat. So I call it my kid's safety card blessing.
Does it work?
You know what? I'm too afraid to not do it, to know whether it works or not. I've been there how many years? 40. And I've never had an oxygen mask drop or...
But when you watched Sully, did you have some pride? Like you were
I
like,
did have pride.
yeah. So you're like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's go, Dave.
Yeah.
What's the phrase?
Brace for impact. Brace.
So you were saying that online? Dave's like, enough.
Not recurred.
But when you see like a movie that makes you look good, you're going to be excited.
Yeah.
That being said, I did not like the movie. So if you liked it, great. I thought it was,
They had big people on it, though.
trying to remember who was in it. Oh, yeah. Like,
They had Jason Bateman. I loved him.
but he's like C, right? Like a C-list celebrity.
Jason
Bates?
Oh.
He's A-list.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
big.
They
He's big.
spent their whole budget on him.
He's like a TV
Well,
guy.
even the TSA guy, he's done quite a few like movies.
Oh, wait.
Now he's doing Netflix specials.
Well, Jason Bateman, he's got Arrested Development, which is like a Netflix.
The TV show, right? So that's,
Have you never watched it?
I
I
think
think you would love Arrested.
I saw some of it. All right.
I'm not advertising.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I want to hear about your soccer story.
Your flight attendant, Stalker.
Oh, I heard soccer. And
So,
you really threw me the book.
I talked about this.
It's
I want it noted that I heard that perfectly fine.
You
Because, well, because Tyler always says,
because I have a lot of hair.
He
We
talks
used to
about-
too.
he
So
talks about my age.
we had a soccer player story, but that you've already told.
That's a soccer player story.
So what happened?
So I just got to work and they already assigned me a task to be like at a gate within like 5 minutes of start, which is already puts me in a bad mood.
You ready to call it union rep?
Yeah, I actually did make that joke the other day to Shannon because I feel like I should be able to walk in, have my coffee, gossip for half an hour, and then I can go to work. Anyway, so they sent me to this gate and I was like ticked about it. So I'm looking down there and I get there and there's no one in the boarding area. And but there's like 2 managers, an upper manager, and like a supervisor there. So it's like something's going on. I don't know what's going on though. And so I'm like, what's happening? It looks like everyone's on the plane. They're like, everyone's on. And then they just leave me. So I'm just stuck up top being like, what is happening? Finally, my manager comes back up and I was like, are we deplaning? What's going on? He goes, all right. So what's happening is one of the flight attendants' ex-boyfriend flew to Phoenix and stalked her last night, was following her around, found her hotel, was at the hotel last night. So she called and was like, I need to get out of here. I can't be at this hotel. So they moved her. I don't know if they moved the whole crew as well in kind of late night to another hotel. And then they thought they were okay. Came morning, early morning flight. That stalker was on the flight now.
He's bought a ticket.
A
He
paying
bought
pass-
a
he's
paying
not-
pass.
he's not on
He's
it.
done an honor. That's what I was like, he's an honor of just kicking him off. Like,
Yeah.
that should be an easy, like, should be like, he's not on my benefits. He has no right to be on here. Get him out. But no, he was a paying passenger. So then it complicates things because what rights does he have? Like, he hasn't necessarily done anything in front of them to qualify as
It's only word of
instructed.
mouth from the flight attendant. Is that
kind
what
of
you're
get, and
saying?
she had to fill out a police report. So there was nothing saying like, you know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
can't be within so much speed of her or anything like that. There was nothing of that. It was enough that the company had moved her last night. Anyway, so the captain had said, I'm not flying this if he's on this plane. And so our managers were all trying to figure it out. The solution they came up with is can't take him off, don't want to lose the captain. So if we replace the flight attendant and get a new flight
So
attendant.
you just not working the flight anymore.
Yeah.
And he's stuck on there.
And he, yeah. So what they did is we had a hot flight attendant, so someone waiting in reserve. He came down, he looked like he just woke him.
So he wasn't really hot.
I mean, that's cute, but he was like, I'm off reserve in about an hour and a half. And I was
Go.
like, well, size.
Not anymore.
So then he was, so anyway, so yeah, we put him on. The girl came with you. I felt really bad. Like, you could tell she was shaking about it and she felt terrible because she was like, I don't want this flight to cancel. I don't want anything to happen to it. It was like, we got you. So took her up and pushed it on. And I was like, what a crazy guy that flew all the, like, stalked her enough to know where she was going to even be. And then have the werewolves to, like, buy a plane ticket on her flight.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, so what did they do? Did they put her on the flight then, or did they just release her and dead her row?
That I don't
Don't know.
know at that point, but yeah, it's probably.
They should do something in the future though. Right? Would we go into like a no fly list?
I hope he would go to no fight. I had a girlfriend that had a stalker boyfriend like that, and he ended up getting a job on the ramp so he could be close to her.
He's
No, it wasn't you.
Do I know him?
No.
Okay.
But he didn't last very long.
that's
Stalker?
Did you have more to add? So don't stalk flight attendants. Nor that, because you're going to end up paying for a ticket that they won't even be on. So,
No, but I will tell you this. I've had passengers wait for me when we get off the airplane. They're standing there waiting because they want to continue the conversation.
really.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. And usually the whole crew will then band around that one flight attendant.
See, I just don't engage enough. Like, I would never be.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't have that problem.
I guess flight attendants are engaging.
Do you, when you're talking to passengers, do you do things that you don't realize? Like lick
Yeah,
your lips and
oh,
rub
my
them
head-
against
no.
them?
My husband says I'm touchy, and I didn't know that. But I do know that one time on the 757, I was
Just
We-
like hands or like whole body up again?
I was on the cart, and we had a bunch of motorcycle Hells Angels on board going to Vegas, and this one guy was sitting on the aisle seat, and his girlfriend was sitting next to him, and so we were talking and stuff, and he was trying to tell me what he wanted to order, and then the other flight attendant on the other side of the cart was trying to tell me something important. So I touched his shoulder for like this. Like, I go, hang on just 1 second. And I touched his shoulder, hang on 1 second. And I leaned over to talk to her. Well, then later on, I'm cleaning the airplane, and she walks up to me. The girlfriend says, you keep your hands off my man. Find your own man. And I'm like,
So it really is like the stripper thing, though, because I got crap for touching flight attendant, but you touch passengers,
all the time, I'm terrible.
right? Isn't that a double center?
I never touch passengers.
I know you don't, but Lara's admitting to doing it often.
Do you touch?
But when I said I did it once to someone,
You got in a lot of trouble.
so
Well, I usually have that octopus finger that I touch people with when they're not paying attention if they want to drink.
that's I just need to get one of those sets.
An octopus finger, yeah.
My dad always said that was my grandma in church. Sit behind them because they had 12 kids. They should just poke them when they being bad in church.
People are crazy though. I remember there was a story about someone, I was airline no one, but they saw a cute girl, and I think it was an airline employee saw a cute girl on a flight or in the gate area. So he like listed himself, hopped on the flight to be with her. And then she was like, he's been buddying. So
Oh, you could get fired for that.
yeah, I think he did.
I feel.
That's crazy.
When I first started, a guy from my flight, we used to work reservations and gates, and we worked all the positions. And he one day when he was in res, he had some downtime, and he went through all these reservations, and he plugged in one name, Bruce Springsteen. And he found Bruce flying on one of our flights from Burbank to Phoenix. So he flew to he non-rev to Burbank, and he was on Bruce Springsteen's flight from Burbank to Phoenix and sat next to him, asked to sit, can I sit in 13C? And sat next, and Bruce was in 13A, and they played like chess I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, but that would get in trouble, wouldn't
Well, now you would. No.
it? Yeah.
I mean, that's super cool. So you play chess with Bruce Springsteen, though.
Yeah.
My deal with Gaffigan was just by luck.
Yeah, how weird, because you love him.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was on the flight. So do you want to hear about my Globus and how much you love that?
Oh, I do.
Because I would like to try to earn it this year.
Or do you want to?
Kinda.
I kind of do
It
too.
sounds really cool.
Did I tell you, did I send you the link that they're doing the
They're doing special.
challenge again?
Oh, no, is it as hard as it was?
Same thing.
Oh, same thing.
So we hit the new year, and last year I ended up with over 80 nights. Some of them were actually stays. You just get for having the credit card, you get some nights. And when you hit 60, you Globalist. But January 1st, I woke up, and one of the first things I did is open my app up. It was 0 nights. Because now you're working for the new year. I still have 0 nights, which is very sad. But
I mean, it's only.
But you still have the
Too
status.
yeah, so I have the status until into next year. So all year long, as I'm trying to earn it for the next year to go into 27, then I will have the status to do it, which is better because I get better. Anyways, so that was sad, but now you have to have 60 nights, or they just did the challenge again, which if you can do and choose 90 nights, 90-day period, and if you say 10 nights, you'll get the one just below Globalist, which to me is not great. You get like a 2 p.m. checkout and a bottle of
Sometimes
water.
I like that.
But you don't get breakfast, which to me, breakfast is huge because either the places that have the free breakfast, it's a free breakfast. It's nothing amazing. But the places like I almost went to Seattle this weekend to stay at the place because it was so good. The food was a
I
restaurant.
mean, I can carry you to dinner.
Yeah, it was
A good breakfast.
$40 per person meal.
It's almost $80 right there.
Yeah. So that's almost going to pay for the off-peak night for the room anyways. So that was a big deal. So the restaurant, you also get free parking, which some places charge a lot of money for parking. It's free for me, for Globalists. So that was the thing. Those couple things plus the 4 p.m. checkout, it makes it worth it to me. And they just announced that they're going to do it again. So if you could do 10 nights, if you do 20 nights, you get Globalist. But 20 nights in 90 days that's a lot. That's a lot to do. So I sent it to a few people.
And you actually do have to stay, right? It's not like I could book 3 nights in Tempe and then just not actually.
You have to show up and check in. Yeah, and then they'll still charge us. You don't show up, then you get charged for it, but you don't get the nights credited.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you have to actually stay. But there's places that you can go and do their off-peak, which is the lowest points, like 3,500 points, but it's worth like $35 worth of Hyatt points or Chase to Hyatt. So that's really not too bad. You can do those. But yeah, you have to find time. So yeah, for me, what I did last year is I looked the whole year and I said, when is the time I'm going to be doing it already? And then I try to find like 23 nights, knowing that some were going to work out. So I'm looking now to see like, okay, I have a couple weeks for spring break. I talked about doing a big trip. So I have those. So maybe I'll work it around then and then do a couple more nights. But then you're just kind of set. You don't get any more than that. But when you do stay at Hyatt's, I think it's a great benefit.
And I really like Hyatt's.
Marriott's are great too. And Hilton's are great too. There's fewer Hyatts, but the benefit and the amount of points. This weekend, we're staying in a Marriott in New York and for 2 nights. And it's like 50,000 points per night. And if at a Hyatt, a similar would be like 20,000 points. Yeah, it's a lot less. So Hyatt's points they go farther. So it's a better deal to me. There's just not as many options. Hyatts are on every corner.
So if you don't have points, is it still worth trying to do?
So either you're paying cash for each night, which will add up, or you can get points through. I get mine to Chase. Chase transfers your Chase points on Chase credit cards, and you transfer them to Hyatt. So that's the best, and that's how I've done almost all of it. I mean, how much are you willing to spend on Hyatts? And so that's the thing is if you don't have points to do, because last year I had 80 nights, but I think I stayed like 65 nights in actual hotels last year. And I think a couple of them, maybe 3 or 4 were paid cash. Everything else was at points because you had to weigh out the value of it. So if you're interested, you look it up. And if you can find a time, I think the benefit's worth it. If you're someone that's going to use the benefit, and use it at nice places. Like I've got some Grand Hyatts, the ones that have the actual benefit and not just the, because when you stay at like a Hyatt place, the Hyatt house, those are places to stay. Everyone gets breakfast. When everyone does, it's not great. This is the continental breakfast. I like to stay at places
Or
that,
powdered eggs.
oh yeah, the running powdered eggs. Anyways, it's something that I think is a benefit if you're interested in it. So you can reach out and if you have questions, email me, email us and all. Yeah, I'll tell you what my thoughts and opinions are. So if you're interested in doing that, but I know people are loyal to Marriott. Marriott's great. And people are loyal to Hilton's too. And that's great too. They're great locations. For me and what we do, Hyatt's been great. I feel like I get more nights for my points at Hyatt, like I said. Speaking of hotels, though, if you don't have them, then Staff Traveler is a great place to get hotels.
Yeah.
Actually, Katie's going on a girls' trip to Europe this summer for like 9 days. Amsterdam and Paris, to doing both of them.
I love that.
So
And
fun.
She can get her own better.
yeah, you don't have to go to Paris anymore. So I was looking and she doesn't have the status because I have a status. I can gift or something that would help her for a stay. But when I was looking at the hotels on Staff Traveler, because it's a group of girls, so it'd either be all of like Katie's points or they can split it. And actually there was a lot more options because Staff Traveler isn't just the few Hyatts. Like I think there's like 3 Hyatts in Amsterdam. It'll look at all of them. And so the prices there were actually really good.
On the Staff Traveler.
Yeah, and that's what their claim is, that they're better than 9090s. And when I asked Guillermo, he had said, do it on the app because sometimes the app is even cheaper than the Staff Traveler website. So go
Yeah.
on the app and just price it out and see what you could find. But yeah, it's really good for looking at hotels. I know that's kind of a newer thing. We talked about it a few months ago, but he said, yeah, sure that, because people are still haven't realized how good they are. That's what
is
we
a
haven't
good
booked
deal.
them, but looking, it's like, yeah, we've had a few people, Angie's booked on there before.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Angie.
Hi, Angie. Salt Lake. Hi, Angie.
And another thing that Guillermo said is they're looking to like redo the whole Staff Traveler page. Did you see that?
They're going to redo that. They do.
Yeah. And so he said,
Renovate
make sure that everyone is signed up for their what is it?
the web app.
No, I think it was like like an email. Sign up for
Oh, make sure you get the email newsletter.
Nulas so you can
Uh-huh.
keep up with what their changes are. Because yeah, they're going to be changing that. Last night they had a little glitch that we couldn't get loads. So he's still working through stuff, but they're excited about it. So for
And how many credits do you have now?
more than you. I
You're
was
right.
I was awarded like 47 yesterday.
From looking up.
For doing people favors. Yeah. I know that I got some trips coming up, and so usually our airline is actually kind of hard to get them because there's so many people.
Uh-huh.
Some airlines are easy because you're the only person in the airline, it feels like. And so, but it seemed like it was a busy weekend. It's a holiday weekend coming up. And so I was able to get a bunch and knowing that I'm going to use them. So I've been not as low as Chrissy was, but I was low.
Chrissy Kaladi.
So
Well, we're going out to Chicago in May for Zachary's graduation.
Nice.
So, yeah, so I'm going to want to look on there to see if they've got hotels
yeah, check out
or
those.
something like that. 'Cause-
I'm at my hotel in Paris that way.
Yeah, perfect, because we'll need room. Mom and Dad will probably need a room. And Los will need a room. Yeah, so there'll be a bunch of us that
Yeah, so check on there. They have got good prices on there. So
And don't forget that the Staff Traveler, the eSIM card that you can turn off and on. So when you're in Europe, you can turn it on. When you come back to the States, you can turn it off, or vice versa.
you can use that on your Paris trip too.
I will use it on my Paris trip. And also, anyone can buy the eSIM card. You don't have to be a dependent or an airline employee. Anyone can buy that eSIM card, and it's a deal.
it is. And thanks for Staff Travelers for sponsoring us and
Thank
supporting
you.
our podcast. We really appreciate it. So go on, check out our stuff. They're doing a great job. All right, the next topic is going to be weird because
Oh.
you guys are gonna believe it's coming from me saying this.
You love Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Yeah, we are. Oh, I talked another guy into hating them last night at work. I was like, "Did you see their Christmas decorations?" And he was like, "Oh wow."
See, I tried to bring that up in the break room, and they said it was so cute out there. Christian was like, this.
Have you not been to other airports then?
We were
Anyways,
talking about that archway, that lighted archway.
They were, yeah.
so the question I have that I was thinking about is, so when we chase lay flat seats, it comes at a cost, right?
It's summertime, and you have to maybe
So-
get a hotel or.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Here's what I said earlier that I want to start going farther. And I wonder if in my travel planning, if I've limited myself so much to getting a good seat that I haven't seen the world as much as I would like. I think so too. And that's why we go to Europe a lot, because we can get good seats to London. That's we've been lucky with. We have so many flights. And then we end up in Europe, and then we don't go to other places. Like, we only have 1 5-day to Sydney. And so it's hard to get a good seat. We want it on a 15-hour flight, but how often do we say, no, it's just not good seats, so let's just not go? And I know Lara does it, because Lara's so small that she fits in the economy like it's a lay flat seat.
She has to jump around in the shower to get wet. She's
She's the kind of person that if I was to sit next to economy, I'm like, yes, because I know she's not going to take up any room. I can man spread, and they won't even bug her.
Man spread. I would take a front, though, if you were not wearing pants. How would you say? I just want to put that out.
You mean this is sitting next to me?
You have to wear pants.
Oh, yeah, next to you. I wear sweats, so we're comfortable, but
Would you wear Zachary's PJs?
I'll be just. But I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder how many times I've done that. And it does come to cost, because sometimes you do have to leave early to get that seat, which means that's maybe one less day on your trip. You're going to see stuff. And
Well, I flew with the flight attendant on my last Newark, and he said to me, he talked about how we chase the seats. And
Yeah.
he goes, I don't chase the seats. He goes, I want to get there. I want to spend my time there. Who cares I'm like, well, that's spoken from someone who really hasn't sat up there lately.
yeah, when I'm up there, I'm so happy. Like, I almost cry. I'm so happy. You know, you're in that, like, it's so comfortable, and they're feeding you too much, and you got a big screen in front of you, and it's just so nice. But then I do wonder how much that I miss out because of doing that. And if it's a little, I mean, I have to weigh out every situation, and it's like, you're going to go home either way on a day. Let's do through places that's going to get a lay flat seat, then it's not, but how often we do that extra? Yeah. So you have to weigh out. So it's hard, because I feel like now I have got keys so much that now when I'm like, I don't care, I just want to go to some of these places, she's kind of like, ooh, and I'm like, that's how you sound like me. Like
You've trained her.
I've ruined her. Yeah.
That's true about her. She does like to lay flat.
Yeah. We all do. So, but
And she doesn't sleep on the airplane, so she should enjoy that.
yeah, but are we missing out stuff?
But you know what's kind of on a side note of this is, as I'm working like the priority list or like the upgrade list,
Yes.
it's extra common now because the way our upgrade list works that there's couples that are always like in parties of two.
Yeah.
And I had this just last week. We had a flight to Hawaii. So you're looking at 5-6 hour flight, right? Maybe even almost 7. And a couple, they were sharing a row to themselves. They said, hey, do you want me to put one of you up there? The other one's going to have a full row to themselves in the back. And they go, I don't think so. I think we're going to stay together. And I was like, but one will be up front and have really like get a meal and have like that up there. And the other one has a whole row.
Even more room. Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like, we're going to stick together. And I was like, oh,
Well, they're
okay.
going to Hawaii for fun. And if they want to get there and they want to have lovey-dovey.
I think they should probably see a therapist.
I don't know. That's what I'm like. Well, I said, also as a spouse, what a great way to like put that. Be like, you know what? I keep you first in the Hawaii. Remember when I did that? It was really nice. That's the thing. Yeah, you get a whole row to yourself. You could like almost lay down yourself. I just didn't get it. I don't. I mean, yeah, I love sitting by my wife. I really do. But I mean, if
It's
you
a
could,
gift.
yeah.
Even if you send her.
Yeah, I would totally send her up there. But you go pamper yourself. You
So
go up
next
there
time
and get
you
in
could be
there.
like, bye. Bye, Tawny.
I get it to London. Crap.
You got to Salt Lake. I get to London.
That's fair.
It's interesting how some people, they don't mind being in the back and they're like, no, we're good.
Yeah, it's this.
But yeah,
It's this.
well, for them, that's complimentary as well. Like when
Yeah.
I'm taking a charge for that Hawaii one, there's nothing.
Dave and Lara, you wouldn't split, would you?
We've been split.
Oh, that's
Yeah, but this is where I would say to our elite members, if they're listening, and I think Steve knows this, tell us you're no split before boarding starts.
Yeah.
It's
no
just,
split.
it's so nice and we don't have to come down and be, or like page you over and over to see if you want to
so let's say hypothetically,
Okay.
Steve and Gerald were in the back, I know they're not. Would they split?
I don't. It's actually, I feel like even harder to get them to split once they've sat down in the back.
Okay.
I bet they wouldn't split. I vote that they don't.
They both have a lot of status with the airline.
They do. Okay, so I vote no. Monique, what say you?
If they're already settled in the back, I don't know if they.
I think they do.
I think
You
each
think
one
they
of us
would?
needs to vote, and then I'm going to text you.
Well, when we put it out, he can. Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you
I
vote?
think they split, and I think they bicker about it. Who goes? Try to push the other one,
Okay, that kind of bickering.
but then one of them goes.
No, you take it. You take it.
Yeah.
I think Steve would make Gerald take it.
But he would. Gerald is saying to Steve.
I say they wouldn't split.
Okay. What do you think?
I see enough couples don't split, so I don't see no split.
Okay.
What do you say? You think they
They
split
do split. Yeah.
after they bicker about who has to go?
The fake bigger. Yeah. No.
You take it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have a dad the other day going to Hawaii, and he had no issues leaving the rest of his family.
Oh, I
back.
would. Yeah. No.
No issues. Like, as they were bored, because we paged him a bunch of times, he comes up and we were like, are you, well, I think he even said, am I going to get that upgrade? And I was like, oh, yeah, we've been paging you. And he goes, yeah, I'm taking it. And I was like, oh, no questions about being splitting or not. He just knew.
I see it all the time with the guys up there, the dads up there, and the families are in the back.
It's not earning brownie points.
So, do you want to do your topic? What to bring on the flight?
Do it.
What do you always pack?
Well, when I was thinking about this, I actually thought from like almost each of our like positions though.
Okay,
It was
so
like-
explain it. So I kind of,
So I was going, so like, what do I see as a gate agent that I'm like, these people need to make sure they always have with?
so give me an example.
I can't remember now. It's
Like a pen,
like maybe a pen.
so they can sign their passport.
So you can sign your passport is always something that's.
I just dropped the gate agents because they were going,
I decided I only carry purple pens now to international flights,
so they don't work.
so they can't use those. It's like it needs to be black or blue. I'm so sorry. It's hard because,
It's like, who has a purple pen?
but also just always make sure that you keep your passport with you,
Not
Okay.
in.
and don't put it in any bags because almost any bag is subject to be checked. So don't put it in your carry-on.
Remember, we explained with my family did that a year ago. When we went to Cancun. Is it 2 summers ago? Oh, no. When we got split going to Dallas, and then Jake and I had to go to Vegas first. But Katie had the passports, but we had her phone.
That's
Oh, God.
right.
Just for those where it's like, don't.
Don't travel. If you can't, don't travel.
But so that's it. No, I don't remember how like the rest of it.
So you're trying to think about like things that you pack for each flight type of thing?
Kind of, no.
What kind of
It
things?
was such a good idea when I was getting ready, and I thought this would be a fun topic. But
For me, I would say get yourself a bottle of water or have a container that holds water, bring that with you. Make sure you have that. We're not allowed to hold your cup, your hydro flask, and pour water in it. We're just not allowed to do that. So we can pour the water in a plastic glass, hand it to you, you pour it in there, and then you hand it back. I'll fill it up. But we're allowed to do that, but we're not allowed to do either. And another thing I would say is to bring black bags with you. Not necessarily for the flight, but a travel
Yeah.
thing is always have the gallon size Ziploc bags with you because you can put anything in there. That's nice. Wet swimsuit.
Yeah.
Food, leftover food. You have a Ziploc bag for stuff like that. I tend to.
That's the
Smart.
little people problems.
what do you think?
That's little people problems. She can wear a swimming suit into a Ziploc sandwich bag. I need a
That was the
hefty
gallon.
bag.
Think that one.
And let's note that I am wearing one. That's all I want to say.
A swimming suit to go to Newark. What do you think about after the service is done, asking for a bottle of water? Or
Well, we're not allowed to give out bottles of water. But if you were a non-rev and you came in the back and I knew you were a non-rev,
Yeah.
I would give you a bottle of water. And usually I try to catch them like during service. If they ask me for water and if I know, like, well, for instance, the pilots, I had a FlexJet pilot on the other day and I got to him, I go, what do you like to drink? He goes, oh, I'll have a water. And I'm like, oh, I'll just give you a
Get
bottle.
the whole. Yeah.
But I'll do it surreptitiously.
Sometimes when I'm doing those, especially like if you have the late file ones where they give you the bottle of water in there, but if
I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
get a city running and I wait till the very end, so you've already done all your services, then I'll go up and ask for one. I'll usually try to be nice and like, oh, I'm a
Non-rev. Or you
Yeah.
can say, I've got this little bag of candy. Can I trade you? Can we barter? And I can trade you for a bottle of water.
I gotta
That
bring
works
something.
too. You've given them a gift and you've gotten something out of it
Yeah.
because you don't want a cocktail.
No, I
So I go back there with those donuts. Can I trade this for a bottle of water?
Would that work for cocktails?
What if they said no?
Yes,
Would you just
yeah.
turn around there?
What if they said no? I
turn
wish
around and walk away?
yeah. Next time they saw me, I had little white powder all over my mouth because I'm eating their donuts.
You're slowly eating them and watching them.
These are delicious.
Could have been yours.
But I'm really thirsty.
When you asked the question, what would you pack? And it was, there's so many different things of like, because each situation is different. Are you going somewhere at the beach? I mean, so I didn't know what your,
So you didn't plan? Did you want to say pants?
no.
I didn't know, like, on the rate, do you see bags that you're maybe like, that's a better bag, or like that's, I don't know, like, I was trying to think, or there's something from like, do you see people?
I see, when I see bags that are going places I want to go, I get jealous.
That's, you said,
No, remember, we've talked about this before, but it's been years. When I'm working Hawaii flights and I see a cooler, because we used to always check coolers to Hawaii. Not even with necessarily with food in them, good, but we wanted them when we were there. And so those kind of bags always like, oh, I wish I was. There's bags, more so I see bags that I hate. And I'm like, I would never have more than bags that, and I want to have this conversation at some point of like what kind we get, because we just bought 2 new ones. And we want to have Laurie on it, talk about, because she works in the
Or
department.
Fredericks?
Yeah, what she thinks, because she's the one that gave me the idea. I just see gift bags that are awful. We've spent more money this time on them. I'm hoping that you, because we were at a time where we were buying a lot of Black Friday bags. So you get like a big suitcase for $40. It was on sale, but it's actually only worth like $20. And the first time you check it,
The wheel pops off.
wheel pops. And sometimes these hard side bags just crack. I've broke so many bags over the years. Not mean to you. I'm not throwing them on the ground, but people will put 65 pounds in a bag that's not meant to hold more than 35, and you lift and it just rips the thing off. I'm sure people get so mad. It's like, well, why should so much weight in there? That it's not made to hold that much. So
well, you've said before too that it's important to put some kind of identification
yeah,
in the bag as well. So if something gets lost or something happens,
you're a lot more likely to get it back if we don't like to get in people's bags, but if there's no like the bag tag comes off, because sometimes you rip it or you lift and then it just slides right off of the handle. Or and there's not like little stickers they put on. Or a lot of times they'll leave them at the end of the jet bridge. You're supposed to collect them, but they don't. So they bring them in and they say, here's a bag with nothing on it. And so we're like looking at people's medicine to be like, hey, came off of Portland. Is there someone named Susie from
I
that
always
flight?
A piece of paper, and I write my name, my email address, and my phone number, and I say, on flight such and such, Phoenix to Charlotte to Richmond, this flight from Charlotte to Richmond, and my bag, it got stuck in Charlotte.
Yeah.
But the next morning when I woke up in Richmond, I walked outside on the porch and there it was.
Is that there?
Yeah, because I had stuck that piece of paper in there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier
super
to find
smart.
than, yeah.
They didn't even contact me
Well, a lot of times you
to
don't.
tell me it was there.
A lot of times you don't think when you're just gate checking it, or you're just like, oh, I'm just going to have it up top, but there's not room, or you don't realize you're going to be on a crap to CRJ, and you have to. And for whatever reason, they get mixed up, or you go grab it. And so you don't think, I'm going to have this with me all the time, but you're not. Hopefully you do, but that's not always the case.
so here would be my tip. If you're ever flying on like the CRJs or the small planes that want to valet your bag,
Flight of the airline.
no.
Oh.
As if you have a tight connection, ask them to gate
check it, yeah.
Not gate check it, like check your bag. Because that bag is going to get over to your plane.
You're
And
right.
if you have to sit and wait for it valeted, there's a good chance you do not make it.
That's a good
so
good tip.
that's what I'm always like. I don't know why these small
And they're not going to charge
stations-
you. It'll be
No,
free.
if you have it and it's the proper size at the gate, there's no charge for it. But yeah, ask them, say, please check my bag. They're going to be happy to do it. Your bag gets transferred. You get off the plane and you run your next gate. You're going to make it more likely than if you have to wait 15 minutes at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
We see that all the time where I'm like, the cruise ship is like, we have the bags or there's people going on. And it's like, they're not here yet.
Yeah,
Or so. And anyway, so that would be a tip, I would say.
that's good.
Just the tip.
Yeah, good. That's like I started talking in last year sometime, probably this summer, and I was like, hey, no more checking bags. So we're trying to get more good carry-on size bags. I also hate my kids carrying carry-on size because I feel like they're not trustworthy. They're just like little kids. We talk about little kids that are like queued the airport with them, but I'm like, that's more work for the parents.
Those are all those scooters. Those are
The scooters, or
They're
even
so
those like
cute.
those little teeny ones that are like little kid ones. It's like nothing fits in there. And now you have to also mentally watch that bag too. Because after like 10 steps, they're going to be like, I'm done working. And now you're like, wait, where's that? So, but my kids are starting to get older, starting to get to the point where they can. So
I do feel bad when I see Dad willing 4 rollers because they actually brought real rollers for the kids. Because I mean, they'll allow them if they have an actual
Yeah.
seat. And I'm like, Dad's putting every single one of those bags up for him.
our friend Marissa, they just had their first baby. See that?
Congratulations.
I didn't know if we could say it, but then she posted on Instagram. But she was our guest almost a year ago.
Marissa on the manifest.
Yeah,
on it.
and they took their first baby out within the first couple of weeks.
First non-rev trip.
Yeah, and so she's gonna go through all the ride, shaking car seats and strollers, and she'll be good. She'll be good at them. Congratulations!
Congratulations.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks for listening this week.
And if you want to get a hold of us, you can find us at the Non Rev Lounge podcast at gmail.com. Everyone stay safe.
Bye.
This has been Non Rev Lounge. This episode was sponsored by Staff Traveler, which is the #1 app to get your non-rev loads. It is used by over 800,000 people from all airlines the world over and built to make your non-rev trips easy and stress-free. Sign up now for free at stafftraveler.com/non-rev lounge.